Here she is. 1999 SVT Cobra. It's been sitting for a long time, almost 20 years, 17,000 miles. Oh, I cannot wait. Welcome back to Legit Street Cars, and welcome to, we just picked up a 1999 Cobra Mustang with 17,000 miles that's been sitting since 2003. One that has like 700 horsepower, and that was pretty famous back in the day. I'll pop up some magazine article pictures of this thing. So back in the early 2000s, this was a very, very legit street car. And look at the plates. So the story is supposedly that an alternator went bad and it's been sitting since 2003. What is the deal? I mean, this thing was sweet. It was a manual originally because it is a real Cobra. You know, the body looks great. Why would they, it's a clean title car. Why? Why in the world would they let this thing sit? Well, we're gonna find out soon. So we just got it towed here. This thing was only $8,000. This is the first time I am seeing it with you guys, and we're getting it right in the shop for an inspection. So this was left in someone's garage. I think the story is for about the first 8 years of it not running, and then someone bought it. It migrated outside, but it was pressure washed. I don't know, a few months ago, but I think it was covered with a lot of nastiness from sitting. But yeah, like multiple people have essentially given up on this car. All right, let's see what we got. Woo! Dual overhead cam, 4.6 liter Cobra engine with a Vortex supercharger. This looks like a big supercharger. Ooh, and it has some pulley damage. It's missing the belt. So really the only thing I know is somewhere down the line of owners, they said what took this car down was a bad alternator, which is spinning fine. All right, so we've positioned the Cobra to be lifted. I cannot wait to see what's underneath, but check this out. I ordered this off of eBay a few days ago, and this is 50 Mustang magazine from July 2001. And look what we have here. Our Cobra Mustang on some different wheels being drag raced. So I did a little bit of research, and the guy that owned this, that did the original build, calls himself Beefcake, and he's actually kind of well known in the Ford Mustang world, and he's the largest Vortex supercharger dealer like in the country or something, or he was, I'm not exactly sure, but this tells the story of the car when it was mostly stockish. And something that's super interesting that they talk about in this is that in 1999, there was actually a recall because Ford lied about the power claims on this car. That's why there's no 2000 Cobra. They skipped a year and went to the 2001, and they talk about that a little bit. So he put this on a dyno, and it did 254 wheel horsepower. And look at this. Everyone said to wait to modify the car until Ford's recall was performed, but he didn't. He put a K&N air filter and some other stuff on it. But yeah, essentially there was a recall, and I believe they just tuned the cars so they would have the proper amount of horsepower, but kind of a big disappointment back then. So in the article, they talk about all of the different iterations of this car early on, from just being a bolt-on car to eventually putting a Vortec on it. And this had 750 wheel horsepower, I guess, back then. And it's got its little list of modifications. Now, this did have the factory manual transmission during the time of this article, and it looks to have had a more factory interior with the factory seats and whatnot. But now this has an automatic, race seats, a cage, and all sorts of other stuff. And from what I can find on the internet, it went as fast as a 10.3 in the quarter mile. Again, back in the day, before the 03, 04 Cobras came out, before all of that. And then it just sat from about 2003 until now, so almost 20 years. Wow, how wide are these tires? What are these things? 315s back in 2000. You gotta just put this all into context, people. Like, this was the year 2000, okay? So there were no Hellcats, there were no factory cars that basically ran 9s. I mean, this was the real deal. Oh, this is cool. Look at this fat hose. So this had an independent rear suspension, and it was swapped out. And because I have that magazine article, I was able to find out that they took this out of a 1990 Mustang GT. So this is an 8.8 rear end. These are very strong. It looks like they did a girdle, some aftermarket arms. I think the factory ones might be laying in the car, actually. And overall, this is a really good factory rear end for drag racing, and a really solid factory rear end suspension setup. Let's see, we have weld-in subframe connectors. An X pipe right here. These are Flowmaster mufflers. All right, so not the best weld job in the world on the subframe connectors, but this was probably done a really long time ago, so it's been holding up. So, you know, what are you gonna do? Pinch welds are pushed in right here and a little bit over there where it just wasn't lifted properly quite a few times, but that is okay. Let's see, we have some harness disconnected. Again, this was an automatic swap, so this is not the factory transmission. The Cobras only came with a manual, but apparently when they wanted to get more serious, they went to an automatic, so I am not the only one. That's what I did with my Turbo Trans Am as well, that came with a 6-speed manual from the factory, and I put an automatic in it for drag racing. It has a trans brake and all that good stuff. Let's see, we got some more lines here, and these are, transmission cooler lines. Okay, and we got a tubular front K-member, ton of room. Look at all this to work on. This is actually really nice. Oh, and these old Vortex superchargers, these are not self-contained units. So that's pretty interesting. I'm used to either the Magnuson stuff right on top, the Whipple stuff right on top, it's all self-contained. The Corvette, the C4 has a Pro Charger, and that is self-contained as well. Super old Ford oil filter, and this has an aftermarket radiator as well. One of the reasons kind of why my channel is called LegitStreetCars, because I grew up with this kind of stuff where people sacrificed a lot to go fast. So they would gut the interiors, take the AC off, the power steering, and just go nuts. And I never liked that. Even from the beginning when I was messing with cars in the 90s and early 2000s, I was like, guys, what are you gonna go? Like a couple tenths faster because you removed some of this weight? Now you've ruined your car. I like my cars more legitimately street cars. Yeah, I mean, it's a clean title car. Here is the big intercooler right here, and I think it has 2 transmission coolers. Wow, I remember those days where I couldn't find like a big enough one, so I had to run 2. And these engines sound so good, and this just has a couple of Flowmasters dumped off into no man's land. This is gonna sound mean. I don't know if that gigantic dent in there is factory. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to fit something. But yeah, I mean, overall, look at all the rubber back here. This is so cool. Yeah, but it's all structurally there. Sweet. All right, so let's get right into this. We're going to pull the spark plugs, of course. This makes noise. This is probably a nice, expensive little piece here, so hopefully that's in good shape. But yeah, these were hand-built engines, signed, autographed, if you will, by the person who put them together. I wonder what was mounted right here. I have no idea. I guess we'll probably find out, right? This very well might be the original battery. Oh man, what in the world is this? Whoa. Whoa, this is like an idler pulley that is completely bent and locked up. Okay. All right, we're getting somewhere, people. That is not good. Sweet. This alternator is probably fine. Is it just the idler? I just find it so hard to believe that this thing would just be abandoned. I mean, someone put a ton of money into this thing, and then I think it was sold after that to someone else. I think it's exchanged hands a few times, but still, why wouldn't you fix this car? Look at this thing up close. It is destroyed. That definitely threw the belt. All right. Whoa, are these supposed to be bolted in? Maybe not. Maybe the cover does it? I've never worked. Oh yeah, I bet you it does. I've never worked on one of these before, so that's kind of nice. Oh, this is not nice. That is water and rust. All right, so actually a friend of mine found this car, and it was local, and he bought it. And I'm like, dude, you got to send this to the shop. I want to figure out what is going on with this Cobra. But $8,000, that's all it costs. It could be a killer deal. I gotta stop saying stuff like that before pivotal moments. Yeah, I mean, this has a ton of water on it, but it's not rusted. It's like new water. I don't know. Motorcraft plugs though, and this one's not destroyed, but it is a little rusted in here. All right, let's just go down the line here. We're gonna pull all these out. Okay, well, all of them are broke loose. There's another water spark plug. Looks pretty decent. Oh wow, this one's straight up dripping. This is crazy though. All right, there we go. Much of the same water, but it looks okay. All right, so we have to take this intake tube off, and everything is just kind of loose, like someone's been in here before. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this guy's just like crusted in there. This clamp is totally loose. Huh. Now the good thing is I messaged my friend to ask him if the guy before him, who he just bought it from, pressure washed the engine. He said he did rinse the whole car, including the engine. So that could be where that very fresh and clean water is from, which is a good thing. So weird that you take these off and the coils are all just kind of hanging out, but that is really nice. Less hardware, probably save Ford some money. Makes for a very easy spark plug and or coil change. All right, I've already loosened all the plugs up. Let's see what we got on this side. And I wonder what these heads have for threads. Let me know, Ford guys, in the comment section. These 4.3 engines have the 4 threads, like my Lightning, that blow out and then the spark plug pops out and you gotta drill it and helicoil and all that kind of stuff. There's no way the almighty 03, 04 Cobra engine had that. Those things were monsters. But at least according to the magazine, this has stock heads. Okay, yeah, these are dry. Yeah, these are probably the plugs that were in there forever, though. You can tell they do have a little rust to them. Okay, cool, more of the same. Let's bore scope. All right, we're gonna check out the water side first, the driver's side, and see what's going on. And we have a piston that's all the way up, so we can't see too much, but there's some normal looking carbon. Let's go to the next one. And what do we got? What do we got? Yep, we definitely have some water in here. That is for sure. And that cylinder wall is a little rusty. Oh, that really stinks. If you guys saw my C63 video where I got the new engine from the junkyard and they had pressure washed it and the rings were destroyed and we couldn't use it, this could be that. Look at the rust. Okay. All right, here's another one. This piston is up quite a bit, yeah. And here is the last one on the driver's side. All right, we'll just go back to this guy here. I mean, this doesn't necessarily mean the engine is bad. I mean, we're definitely going to get this water out of here and spray some stuff inside to loosen it up, but this isn't good. Don't pressure wash engines, people, unless it's ready to be ran immediately, and you have to pay a lot of attention to not getting water into important areas. And here we are again on the passenger side. Now, these things are funky looking. I mean, they're dirty, but like, in a weird way. Let's see if we can get one where the piston's actually down. Here we go. Bam. What do we got in here? Yeah, I don't know. Was there water in here too? Oh, wow. Look at this, guys. To the right, that alien-looking planet, that is the cylinder. Are you kidding me? Oh, man, water must have been sitting in this thing forever. That is not good. Yeah, that is a rusted up cylinder like crazy. This is probably not why the car went down a long time ago, but oh man, this is what might keep it down. Jeez. And that's the passenger side, so the dry side. Oh man. All right guys, I'm not super hopeful with the rust in the cylinders, but if anything can break this up, it is our Cree-Oil penetrating oil. So I'm gonna put a ton of this in each cylinder, and then this is just straight up trans fluid. A little bit of engine oil in there. Usually I mix the two, but we just need as much cleaning power as possible. So here we go. We're feeding it on through. I'm gonna use a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Look at this one. Yeah, we literally filled the entire cylinder. I don't think this level of rust will be broken up by our normal concoction. I think we might have to get a little bit more serious about this rust removal if we have any chance of this engine spinning over. So anyway, let's get a little, yeah. Oh, okay. With all the plugs out, even with this little shorty, I should be able to turn this engine over. If I got the big breaker bar on here, it might break free because we broke all the rings. I don't want that. Okay, I just need to know that this thing is still locked up, which it definitely is. All right, at this point, we're gonna turn this into a cool experiment that I've wanted to do for a long time, which is take an engine that is severely rusted, okay? These rings are rusted, they've expanded into the cylinder, the cylinders are rusted, everything is just in really bad shape. This should just be basically a bad motor, which it probably is. But I want to see if we can break it free and obviously get it running. I don't think it'll be a good engine even after we get it running. I mean, there's no way there hasn't been critical damage already done to the engine, but I just want to see, will it run? How bad will it smoke? And whatever else we can find. So I'm going to research and find a rust removal product, something a little bit stronger, meant maybe for this exact application. If you guys have any ideas, definitely comment down below, but I want to fill these cylinders with something a little bit more serious. Some guys use diesel fuel as well, but I want to go hardcore, see if we can break these rings free, and then in the next video, we'll turn it over, hopefully, and then get it to start up. So in order to get it to start up, we need fuel. So we're going to continue on with the fuel system on this car, and a battery. We should put a battery in here. See what lights up inside. All right, let's get this old man battery out of here. Okay. I'll swap over its little blanket. All right, here's our new interstate. All right, positive first, people, when you're putting the new battery in. All right, first time this thing is getting power since about 2003. So at this time, 19 years. Might as well be 20. We're in November already. All right, here we go. What will turn on in our Mustang? All right, let's see what happens. Whoa! So does it really have 17,000 miles? Yeah! I mean, it might have a 17,000 mile dashboard and, you know, the steering wheel and everything, the door panels, everything looks really nice in here, but yeah, she's a little rough, but just pure neglect. I mean, I would venture to say that this engine was okay when it was put away like 20 years ago. It may have just been that pulley, which, wow, what a shame. Oh, check it out. Okay, this thing is just giving up on us. We want to see what CD is in here. Come on. All right, nothing in there. Oh, we're making money already here. So this thing does have a roll cage in it. Where are the other bars though? Oh, there they are. Oh, no, this light is, oh, that light is on. I wonder what that's about. I actually kind of dig the little spoiler here. I don't think it looks too bad, but man, did they make a big improvement on the 03, 04 Cobra as far as, I mean, everything, literally the engine and all that, but also the body kit was a lot nicer, bumpers and whatnot. But what do we got in here? I got our spare, some jumper cables. This must be wiring maybe for the fuel pump. There's the inertia switch. If you get into an accident, it shuts the fuel system down. But yeah, got a couple of grounds right here. Oh, whoa, what is that? Oh, a booster pump. Look at that. It's got a lean and a rich knob. That's kind of cool. Kind of spells it out for you. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and drop this tank right from the get-go. It looks so easy to do. You just have two straps right here. And yeah, we gotta disconnect the filler neck. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Start. All right, we gotta start off with this. I have no idea how this works. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This is so funny. Okay, whatever. Okay, three 10s, it looks like. It's kind of early in the morning. We're not moving that fast today, but we can do it. All right, going up. Hurry up, lift. 17,000 mile car, just coming apart. All right, get out of here, tank strap. We don't have time for you to be stuck. Oh, what are you stuck on? Ugh, it's just little plastic clips. There we go. Oh, there is a bolt up here too. All right, we're leaving that strap. Can we go down now? All right, here we go. Okay, that's gone. All right, we got an electrical connector. Please come off nicely. There we go. Hey, that's like the same one from the Fox body. All right, we just got a couple hose clamps right there. So here is the fuel line that feeds the big fuel pump. So it is getting fuel probably from the stock pump. That was a very common thing back in the day. We really needed to clean the shop before attempting this world record tank drop. Guinness Book right here, certified. It smells. It smells exactly how you guys think it smells. Oh, this clamp is gonna screw us over here, that's for sure. It is too rusted. I can't get it, darn it. Okay, I just broke the clamp. There we go. Oh, get off. This is one way to start a morning for no reason whatsoever. You can't even really have bragging rights on something like this because, I mean, no one else has like tried. There's just no reason. Get off. Ah, hang on, we gotta have this thing down on the ground. Okay, time. Oh. I don't know, I'm pretty disappointed. I don't know what it took us to take the Fox body tank, I don't remember. Max, throw it up on the screen here. 5 minutes to take out a Fox body fuel tank. So anyway, 11 minutes. Let me know in the comments section if you guys can beat that. Let's clean this thing up. I'm just gonna make a couple marks so we know exactly which way this thing points. Not super critical, but why not save some time, right? All right, getting the lock ring off. So this is all aftermarket, obviously. So. What in the world? We are missing a pump. Huh, okay. Was expecting to see a factory fuel pump on this, but this is all aftermarket goodness. Nice welds too. Let's take the fuel sending unit out. Ow, breaking my finger. It hurts. All right, here's our little cute factory fuel sending unit. So far so good though. The tank on the Fox body we replaced because it was just so rusted inside. But you could tell right away from stuff like this that it was going to be bad. But this isn't horrible. Let's take a peek inside. Okay, yeah, it's dirty. It needs a cleaning, but this is definitely a salvageable tank. Look at that shiny goodness in there. I mean, not the fuel. I mean the metal. So yeah, there isn't really much rust at all. Just some debris, probably from the sock. So yeah, this thing is in pretty good shape. I mean, obviously we got to get rid of this nasty fuel, but just look at how shiny the inside of the tank is. Here is the hole for the fuel sending unit, and much of the same. And we'll take this totally destroyed gasket out. And here it is, fuel tank land. It's a wonderful place to be. And here's our little sump. So the sock fits in there and all the fuel comes out of the sump so that when you're taking turns and everything is sloshing around, that thing always has fuel in it. And I was wrong. I thought this was getting fed by the factory pump like we've seen many times before. C4 Corvette, for example, has the inline fuel pump right here, but that does get fed by the factory in-tank pump. And I had a setup like that on my white Trans Am back when I was running nitrous on it. It would get fed by the factory pump as well, but this guy is just gravity fed right into this. But I do want to know if our fuel pump works. So I'm borrowing some electricity from the blue Trans Am, because we need multiple Trans Ams in order to test Mustang parts, I guess. And let's power probe. All right, let's see if this big old aftermarket fuel pump, still works. Come on, baby. We're giving it a little shock. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool, it works. I don't want to run it with no fuel, but the fuel pump works. That's a good sign. So honestly, we just need to clean the tank and we should have a working fuel system. It almost seems too good to be true, really. But I mean, then again, we do have a toast dual overhead cam Cobra motor, which isn't good. Yeah, I guess you win some and lose some, but in our cases, we always lose like the really big battles and we win those little baby battles. All right, guys, this story gets better and better. So I was doing some research last night, and so was the owner on the car, and we found a ton of old forum posts from back in the day and some old YouTube videos. Well, they were put on YouTube like 12 years ago because this was before YouTube, but from 2001. And this was the fastest 99 Cobra in the entire world. It says it right here in the magazine, but this isn't even nearly as fast as the car went. Check out this super grainy, very low quality video. So we found a video of it running a 10.5, but I guess it went 10.3 back in the day. And we found a mod list for this car. This has a fully forged engine, ported heads, and then it says it has a, quote, bulletproof Ford 4R70W transmission with a larger stall converter, coolers everywhere, coilovers, 5-way adjustable struts. This thing was awesome back in the day, and then supposedly it was sold for like $40,000 from the original owner who built it back when it was running and in good condition. It was sold for 40 grand, and then the owner after him, so the second owner, had the issue with the car, whatever that may be. I'm thinking that pulley broke off, and then it just sat. And then it went to, I think, one other guy, and then the guy that just bought it right now. So a total of 4 owners. This car is just such a crazy mystery. I'm hoping this guy Beefcake, Terry Reeves, it's public, it's in the magazine, will reach out, and he's like the largest Vortex supercharger dealer in the world. I'd love to learn more about this car, and I'll obviously let you guys know in the next video when we try to turn this engine over and eventually get it fired up. But anyway, for now, let's clean out this nasty fuel tank. All right, time to dump out this nasty fuel. This is like deja vu. I think we literally did it right here with the Fox body tank, and that one was pretty nasty. Let's have a competition. Which red Mustang has nastier fuel? All right, so here's this. It's pretty bad, and let's throw up the footage of the Fox body, see how bad that is. And I'm gonna pretend to react to that even though I can't see it right now. Oh, that was bad. Fox body was way worse. It had literal chunks of rust coming out of it. This thing it's just bad varnishy fuel. The tank is really nice. I'm looking at this mod list. Take a look at this old school mod list. You guys remember that on forums where you just write out every little tiny thing that you've done to your car because you're so proud of it? I mean, I did the same thing, but it is a 1997 tank. So it's not a 99 tank that came with this car. Let me know down below what the advantage of that. Maybe because it's a steel tank and the other one was a plastic tank. I don't know what the deal was. But the tank has been replaced with an older tank. And it's still this nice. All right, I was on the forums as well back in the day. LS1 Tech, that's where I lived. And I posted a lot for many, many years on there. So there was an Alex before YouTube. If any of you guys know me from LS1 Tech, definitely let me know in the comments section. That would be a blast from the past. All right, we're gonna go ahead and blast this tank inside and out, make it look pretty. Wait a minute. What is this? We have a hole in the fuel tank. What a shame. God, I was saying so many good things about this 1997 fuel tank, and now it's got a hole in it. I mean, we could fix that. This isn't like a big deal, but then again, the Fox body tank was like $150, so it might be worth it just to throw a whole new tank in it. I don't know, probably needs a motor and now it needs a fuel tank. All right guys, that'll do it for this little reconnaissance mission video. So we figured out everything we need to know to move forward. So in the next video, I'm gonna find some kind of product, some kind of solution to put in the cylinders to give us a better chance of being able to turn this engine over. And we are gonna try and fire it up because this engine, I mean, it's basically a bad engine as it sits right now. It would need to come apart completely, new rings at minimum. The cylinders would need to be honed and who knows what else. So we get to do an experiment that I know I've always wanted to do, which is can we revive a severely rusted engine and at least get it to run? And if we can, how will it run? How long will it last? Will it smoke? So anyway, I'm really, really excited to get back into this thing. I hope you guys are as well. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. Share the video with your friends and your family. Subscribe if for some crazy reason you haven't already. And most importantly, have an awesome day. I'll catch all of you in the next video.